We've seen this week a number of countries announce their squad ahead of the World Cup, which of course kicks off later this month. The defending champions. For the latest to do so, here is France's in all of its glory. No massive surprises really from the players that have been named. Ferland Mendy, I suppose, the big talking point who has been left out. For more on this, let's welcome in, shall we? Don Hutchison, I suppose, more importantly. Julien Laurens is with us. Juls, are you happy?
Yeah, I'm happy. This is the squad we expected. I mean, we were told today, for example, at some point that Ferland Mendy, the Real Madrid left back, who can, I guess, play a bit right back too, was going to be in the squad, and Camavinga was not going to be. And then I think Deschamps maybe changed his mind a little bit later in the day. And Camavinga was in because I think he felt that an extra midfielder, considering all the defenders that he'd already called, and a few of them can play at left back or right back, was maybe more needed. And I think that was right, especially now that we know he's going to go back to a back four and probably with three midfielders. Then I think Camavinga makes sense, maybe more than Ferland Mendy. The critics said that there's only one pure fullback in Theo Hernandez, a left back. The others are all centre backs, and there's many of them. But I guess Koundé can play right back, Lucas Hernandez can play left back as well. There's different options, combinations. But overall, I think this is a really good squad with depth, with a lot of talent, with mix of youth and experience. I think this is good.
There are some suggestions that when Deschamps saw that you were reporting that Mendy wasn't in the squad, he changed his mind just to spite you, Jules. Can you confirm this?
So it was Camavinga to start with, not Tchouaméni.
Oh, there you go. Take that for trying to be smart. Get your Real Madrid midfielders straight.
Exactly.
Exactly. Why is he only named? He could name 26, couldn't he, Jules? Why did he name 25?
Yeah, it's a good question. I mean, in September we asked him if he was going to. We just all assumed he would name 26, and he said in September, he said, I guarantee you it's easier to win the World Cup with a 23-man squad than with a 26-man squad. And I think to that he referred to the 26-man squad that he had at the Euros. And I don't think he liked it. I think he felt there were too many players. There were too many to leave out. There was more egos than 23, of course. And I think maybe even if Varane hadn't been injured right now, I think he probably would have only taken 24 and not 25. So he was really not keen on a higher number compared to other head coaches, for example. He was always, I think, more likely to name just the 23 or 24. I really don't think he liked the experience with 26 at the Euros.
Well, Brazil only named a 25-man squad.
Yeah, no, I'm just intrigued. If you've got 26...
I'm only saying that because Dani Alves is not really a player. He's a passenger.
Well, yes, I know, but he's there for other reasons, isn't he?
I mean, 26, I agree. I mean, okay, if you get a real... I mean, you'd have to have a horrendous injury list for the media in particular to be calling you out and saying, well, see, you should have took the extra player.
Right.
However, I think that we're getting into ridiculous territory here with these squads. I mean, I really do. 26 is way too many for most of those reasons. And I think I saw Gareth Southgate, and there might have been others, named the provisional 55-man squad.
Okay.
I mean, what the hell's that all about? The world's gone mad. The French have got enough talented players here. Some of the big question marks are on the form. Obviously, Rabiot at Juventus, Varane's fitness. Jules mentioned the back four. Then you've got Antoine Griezmann, who, again, it's a difficult period,
yes.
Difficult season for him. It's not the Griezmann of the 2018 World Cup. So there's lots of questions around it, but it'll still evolve around all the main characters here, particularly if fit Benzema, Mbappe, and probably that back line.
Can we just take a look at the starting 11 again? A couple of things I wanted to discuss with you, Jules. Antoine Griezmann, as Craig mentioned, hasn't been pulling up, many trees this season. You've got him starting behind Mbappe and Benzema. Yeah,
this is, I believe, the squad that should be starting against Australia. Deschamps confirmed the return to the back four today after playing for a while with the back three. The idea behind the back three originally was to be able to fit Griezmann, who is one of Deschamps' guys, and I think he will need a lot for Deschamps to drop him. So to fit Griezmann, Mbappe and Benzema once Benzema had come back to the national team. And I think in Deschamps' mind to have Griezmann as in a free role behind the front two of Benzema and Mbappe, this works and this is the best position for everybody. So that's why we put the 4-3-1-2 like that. We can make an argument and a case for Griezmann to be dropped, of course, and playing Dembele wide and Mbappe wide, or Nkunku can play there. There's again a lot of different things that Deschamps can do, but right now I believe this is. And again, we can move the right back, change the right back from Pavard to Koundé. All of that we can do. But I think in terms of system, I think that 4-3-1-2 right now in Deschamps' mind for Griezmann, Mbappe and Benzema is the best suited formation.
Sorry, did I miss something at the top of the show here? I'm being serious. Jules, did I miss... Did you say Deschamps changed his mind today? Did I hear that?
That was the suggestion that Jules was making.
Is that right?
Yeah, in terms of his old selection, I think it was a process, and I think there was certainly. We were told this morning that Ferland Mendy, for example, had a really, really strong chance to be in the squads, and I think Deschamps really, really believed that Mendy could be a good added number in there, and then obviously he called a lot of proper centre backs. If you think about Varane, Upamecano, Konate, and Saliba, 4 right-footer by the way. And then I think Camavinga came maybe a bit later in the sense that in midfield it was a bit light with just the Guendouzi, Veretout, Fofana, Tchouaméni and Rabiot, especially if you play with 3 in midfield. So I guess the extra man was needed, but I think it was a reflection that he had for a long time. It's just that today we kind of heard different voices.
You've got Rabiot starting, Jules.
Yeah, Deschamps likes him, always liked him. I mean, he's been good for Juventus this season, scored 5 goals in 15 games. We saw him again last week. We saw him in the Champions League doing well too. And once you lose Pogba and Kanté, you need to replace them. You can't just throw Tchouaméni and Fofana, who never played in a big tournament, one has 7 caps and the other one has 2 caps. And one is 22 and 21 years old, just like that in a World Cup. I think with Rabiot, it's a bit more experience. He's 27, he's a bit more mature, whether we like him or not. But Deschamps really likes his profile, and I think he likes the fact that he's left-footed as well, and there are not many left-footers. Well, he's the only one really with Camavinga in that midfield, so I think that's also a bonus for him. And I think, yeah, Deschamps is always, even with all the troubles caused around him or with him in the past, like at the 2018 World Cup, before the 2018 World Cup, he's always liked him.
Rabiot, Don?
Do you know what, Dan? If you had asked me about Rabiot at the start of the season, I would have said no chance. When Juve were losing against teams like Monza and drawing games left, right and centre. But I've commentated on his last 2 games when he's played really well against PSG, and they played Inter at the weekend, and he was really, really good. It looks like he's coming into form at the right time. I know he's got his critics. I know certain people out there don't fancy him or don't like him for whatever reason. But I tell you, on the pitch, the last couple of games, he's been really, really good.
Well, thank you very much for watching ESPN on YouTube. For more sports highlights and analysis, be sure to download the ESPN app. And for live streaming, premium content, and let's not forget as well, ESPN FC 7 days a week. Subscribe to ESPN Plus.